Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back at it at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that one compact crossover SUV that still looks fresh even to this very day. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this vehicle right here. This is a 2025 Mazda CX-5. This particular one is a turbo premium. But before we get into this, Blue Mica Pearl, I love the color. One of my new favorite colors from Mazda. Love the color on this CX-5. Let's talk about what's going on here. So, CX-5, it's currently Mazda's best-selling vehicle, and it's been their best-selling vehicle for quite some time now. What's fascinating is this overall design dates back to 2016. So that's almost 10 model years. But one thing that Mazda seems to be really darn good at is that their designs are very timeless. Not a bunch of weird shapes and folds and creases and everything else. Give it that look that's like an everlasting gobstopper. Now, with this CX-5, this being a turbo, you get the extra power. Premium is gonna give you some really nice touches. And I think that when you hear the price point, it's gonna surprise you. But what I want to find out is, compared to the other compact crossover SUV competition, the Nissan Rogue, the Honda CR-V, the Toyota RAV4, the Ford Escape, vehicles like those, is this the best way to go? Why don't we go ahead, let's dive in and find out. Right off the bat, like I said, the Blue Mica Pearl is working for me, especially with the black wheels and accents. Now, the front of the business, there was a refresh just a couple years ago. They reshaped the headlight housing. Love the way they're doing the LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and headlights. Everything is nice, smooth, body finish, nothing stuck on or anything like that. And then you'll notice on the lower lip, you do get some gloss black. But I think one of the other big things to point out is you also get some dark chrome finish. So as we come across that Mazda grille, you'll notice that most of the trim is that dark chrome. You do get a forward-facing camera on the premium trim and that iconic Mazda badge. Working our way down, you got that lower lip gloss black with some flat black, and you'll notice the heat exchangers from behind because remember, this is a turbocharged intercooled engine. The one fun thing to remember about Mazda, they've been around since the late 1920s, and they actually didn't make cars at first. They made cork. Yes, the thing that's the little stopper in a wine bottle or a champagne bottle, cork, that's what they made. They didn't make their first vehicle, if you could even call it that, until 1933. It was called the Mazda Go. It was a three-wheeled pickup truck. Really, really bizarre, but here we are now, and Mazda's really made a mark for themselves. Like the gloss black, nice grille design, fully functional. And even the way they took the turn signals and kind of brought the housing a little closer in, it just gives it a nice, aggressive but clean look. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. Now, as we rise up, you got that nice low slung hood, super clean. Look at that. The only lines you got going on is from the front fascia into the fender, into the side mirror. That's it. Coming around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna get these gloss black wheels, nice multi-spoke design. If you're wondering, well, Joe, what is the size of this wheel? You're basically looking at a 19-inch wheel. Tires are gonna be 225 on the width, and you have a 55 series sidewall. Normally, it bothers me when there's gloss black around the fender openings, but I'm actually liking it because of the Blue Mica. It would be a little different if this was a white one or maybe a silver one. But I do like it with that Blue Mica and the black. I think it just gives it a nice sporty look. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about it. Let me know if you're digging the wheels. Like I said, they just look clean. They look great. Coming down the side, we do have power folding mirrors, gloss black, LED turn signals, 360-degree cameras. From the side, you can see the overall dimensions of this are compact, and I like the way it doesn't have that boxy compact look. Now, one of the zonks I have is that you do have some bright, shiny metalwork on the bottom of the window frame openings, but I do like the fact that there's no roof rails. I think that really cleans up the style of it. It's especially for people that have no plan of ever putting anything on the roof of their CX-5. Color matched on the door handles, and then you have that side sill extension that's in gloss black. Now remember, this is all-wheel drive, so it's front-wheel drive base, sends power to the rear wheels. You got that little, it's almost like a putter. Flares out on the back. And no, I'm not a big golf player, but I do like a mean game of putt-putt. Now spin around the backside. There's just a couple things I want them to tweak. Extend the roof spoiler, make that actually a roof spoiler rather than a nub, and then take this and put it underneath there. You do that, it's dynamite. LED lighting, tail lights, turn signals, you got your turbo badge, you got your all-wheel drive badge. This has the optional nice little skid plate on the top of the bumper so that when your kids are pulling their, sports gear out of the back, they don't scrape the hell out of the bumper, because we all know they're just going to drag it out. They're not going to lift it. They're lazy and they're weak. Now, as we drop it all the way down, you do have your dual outlet exhaust, stainless steel tip / cut, and a nice simple lower bumper area. That's all you need. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about horsepower of this CX-5. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have this dumb prop rod. I'm going to zonk that, but decent engine cover, yes. I know people like to joke, hey, are those cup holders in the engine cover? Yeah, that's what they are. They're cup holders. Keep thinking that. Now, what do we have underneath the cover? A 2.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, 256 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 6-speed automatic with the all-wheel drive, 0 to 60 in about 5.9 seconds. Top speed 129 miles per hour, and that is governed to 129 miles per hour. It weighs 3,822 pounds. MPG's 22 in the city, 27 on the highway, and it could tow a low 2,000 pounds. This isn't really meant for towing. This does have, though, that Mazda zoom driver engagement, which I can't wait to show you. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this 4-banger turbo and see it zoom off. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Mazda CX-5 Premium, and it's a CX-5 Turbo. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a new SUV. I don't want to go any bigger than the size of this one. I've looked at a lot of the other ones. Either they have a CVT, or they're ugly styling, or they don't have the nice interior. I'm curious about this CX-5. How much is it? Very good question. The way that this one is optioned is right around $39,000. But let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels. Love the material. Soft touch. Nice stitching. You even have some trim there that isn't gloss black. Go figure. It can be possible. And then the silver from the door handle flows nicely into that trim underneath. Now you do have gloss black around the switchgear, which I do have to zonk. But then they make it up to you with some red stitching, some soft material on the armrest, nice large door pocket there. You could get 2 6-inch, make it a cold cut combo and a cold cut trio, and you could get a large bottle of Surge in there. Plus we have the Bose sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, more of that soft touch, the stitching. I like this trim, the red stitching on the side. Come on in. I know you're gonna hate it, but there's nothing I could do about it. I don't work for Mazda. 10.25-inch infotainment system screen. Is not a touchscreen. If you use Apple CarPlay, it becomes a touchscreen. But right now it's not. You can touch it, it just doesn't do anything. But you do have your Navi. Everything is done with the control knob. I actually prefer that because you hit the home button. Now I could just scroll here very easily. I don't know why people make such a big deal out of the touchscreen. I'll never figure it out. For me, I'm okay with it because then you don't have stupid greasy fingerprints all over the place. Watch this, go into reverse. Look how clear the resolution is. Come on. Honda and Toyota can't even touch that. And you got the trajectory lines, the 360. I could put it back into park. And then let me show you the forward-facing camera. So now we're out the front. Boom! Like it. Look at that. Ooh! See, your CR-V doesn't have that. Soft touch. Love the style of the AC vents. You got your start-stop button. Heated steering wheel. And then we have 3 stages of heated seats and 3 stages of ventilated seats. Dual climate control with the nice clickety-click knobs. Wireless charging. A 12-volt. This is the shifter for the 6-speed automatic. I like the shift boot with the red stitching. You got your MI drive controller. I'll show you that when you come to the business side. 3 modes, normal, off-road, and sport. There's that direct drive control knob, real volume knob, 2 cup holders. Mazda CX-5 works. It's a good size. It won't poke you in the groin to where you can't have kids if you want. Soft touch, the red stitching. Open it up. I got a little tray. Now what's great about this tray is this is where you could keep all the class rings of all those girls that you dated back in high school. It's like they're trophies or something. But that's your business. That's not my business. And they won't get scratched. 2 USB-Cs, a 12-volt, and then you get enough room in there for, I would say, 4 packages of Nutter Butters. When I was in high school, I used to love Nutter Butters, man. My mom would kill me because I'd always come home from school and like demolish almost a whole box of them. Seats, the leather, the stitching, super clean on the design. Electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver. Go figure, a dark headliner, and a standard size sunroof. But why don't you go over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel in this Mazda. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. I love the aluminum sill plate with the CX-5 name, illuminates at night. You do have 2 memory seat settings, so you can let somebody borrow your CX-5. Seat controls, easy to get to. Lower lumbar, so important. I'm 6 feet tall. Don't think compact is compact anymore. This isn't 1980, unfortunately. Lots of room. Steering wheel, I love the leather, the red baseball stitching. Nice clean horn button. You do have paddles to go up and down that 6-speed automatic. And it is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then you have your dash. It's very straightforward. You have a digital speedometer in the center, and then everything else is analog. And it's backlit LED. I go into my different modes like I was showing you, the sport, the normal, and the off-road. I like the way it changes color, especially when we get sporty. And there's a head-up display. So think about it, 39 grand. Not too shabby. But why don't we get in the back seat and see what you think of the Mazda CX-5. All right, guys, backseat time, and you know what? It's just right. It's like the Goldilocks of back seats. You have plenty of headroom. I feel comfortable. Seats are great. You do have pockets on both sides. You could put 2-pound bags of Mike and Ike's, maybe some Jelly Bellies. And then you do have your AC vents. Now, before you get upset about connectivity and stuff, just wait. I love this. I'm not ready to show you, though. Feeling good sitting here. Pull it down. Heated seats, 3 stages, built into the armrest. I don't know if Steven could show that. Look at that, built into the armrest. Plus, besides the cup holders, don't go anywhere, Steven. There's your USBs built into the armrest. So think about it. You could have your phone charging and then your phone sitting in here and not getting scratched. It's not poking you in your groin. Yes, I am very cautious about poking myself in the groin. You could really do some lifelong damage. Happened to Steven. And then you got the wonderful red stitching, just like up front. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area, because I want to zoom with you in this Mazda. All right, guys, cargo area time. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We hit the button, nice electric assist. You're going to be greeted to 29 cubic feet of space. Fold that rear seat down. You're looking at, guess what, 59.3 cubic feet of space. Now, I like the way they have these little nooks over here. This is where you could put a 6-pack of Yoo-Hoo. And then on the right side, you could put your box of Twinkies. Plus, they do give you a 12-volt in there, which is nice. Kids, don't stick your Twinkies in there. To fold down the rear seats, you're just going to pull these handles, which are nice. Makes it nice and easy. And then underneath here, check it out. You do get a spare. And that's your Bose subwoofer. Boom. But why don't we go ahead? Mazda used to always say, zoom, zoom, zoom. Why don't we go for a non-throttle spin and make it happen? All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this 2025 Mazda CX-5 Turbo Premium. I have it in sport mode, and we're gonna go on throttle right off the bat to show you how this thing zooms off, and also how the all-wheel drive does its thing. So if you're ready, I'm ready. On throttle, here we go. Nice smooth shifts from that 6-speed. It's nice that they really balance the sportiness of this vehicle, plus with some higher end touches in here. I mean, the materials feel great. The steering is very direct, quick, and precise. And the shifts, like I said, from the 6-speed are really, really fantastic. Utilizing the direct drive control knob, it's really not a big deal. It really is, and I feel like everybody makes such a big deal out of this thing. But once you know how to use it, it's a piece of cake. Now, what I love about the Mazdas too is that their sport mode is so much different than their regular normal mode. There's a distinct difference between the two, especially with how the engine and the transmission behave with one another. And then with the all-wheel drive, you're getting really great grip. And like I said, with Mazda vehicles, they really focus on the driver. They want to bring a nice, engaging driving experience. You do get some sound pumped in through the speakers, through the Bose sound system. It's nothing too obnoxious, and it blends in nicely with how the vehicle is accelerating. It's very even between the engine and the pumped in sound, and it's nothing too like overbearing, which is good. Visibility is great. It's like when you get behind the wheel of one of these, it makes sense why this vehicle has been such a good seller for Mazda. The great news about having the turbo is you got plenty of power to merge, to pass people, whatever you need, this vehicle can do very, very easily. And because of the size of it, it's very maneuverable, especially in high traffic situations. The dash is easy to read, very clear. And then you don't even need to look at the dash because you got the head-up display, which is nice. Now, if you want to shift manually with the paddles, you take the shift lever, you pull it over to your leg, driver's side, and now I'm going to be able to use the paddles. They are small and they are plastic, but at least there's paddles there. You got a nice gear indicator at the bottom of the speedometer to let you know what gear you're in. And that really even makes it more engaging in this vehicle when you shift manually with the paddles. But if you got to do some light trail driving, you do have the off-road mode in the terrain setting. But the key to this vehicle is just it's so well maneuverable. It really is a fun car to drive. On throttle, here we go. Very balanced, not a bunch of body roll, which is good. And the shifts, whether you're going up the gearbox or down the gearbox, are very, very quick. So I do like that. Seats are comfortable. They could use a little bit of bolstering on the sides of the bottom cushion and the top cushion. But other than that, they are very comfortable. And the fact that we do have heated and ventilated seats is a huge advantage. That's for sure. I think your passengers are going to be really happy with the amount of room that's in the back seat as well. Let's go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. But really a nice, well-developed package. I mean, like I said, almost 10 years of development on this CX-5, and it really shows with how the way it drives, that's for sure. And like I said, it's just very maneuverable. But I hope that this has been a quick overall review of this Mazda CX-5. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways. Always love getting behind the wheel of a Mazda. Definitely want to thank everybody at Mazda USA for allowing us to have access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. For what you get for that money, is it better than the compact crossover SUV competition? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. Got to give it to Stephen Flood. You know, he keeps taking the lickings and he keeps on ticking. He's like the little Energizer bunny. I think I'm gonna get him a bunny outfit to wear like they had in the Christmas Story. But thank you, Stephen, for keeping going. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.